Yokoso from Japan. This is Claytonian. Today this video is going to be put in a couple places. It'll be on Japan Probe, and it'll be here on YouTube where you might be watching it or not, and then it's not here where I just said the preposition changes. Anyways, gonna do a couple book reviews because we get sent books occasionally, and in return we feel like we have to review them, which is not a bad gig. So this time I'm going to review Yokai Attack and Promenade of the Gods. Alright? So let's start off with Promenade of the Gods. Now, you might notice it has a very striking cover. It was designed by Chip Kidd, I believe, who is the one and only rock star of book design. And everybody's heard of him for some reason, even though all he does is design books. But anyways, I don't actually think this is one of his better designs. It's kind of hypnotic, but you know what? As is often the case in Japan, I like it better with the jacket off. Jackets are kind of bothersome anyways. But this jacket did teach me a couple things. So Koji Suzuki majored in French. He's got a yachting license. Ooh, that comes up in the book in a way. He's got 2 daughters. He's a respected authority on child rearing. The guy that wrote The Ring is a respected authority on child rearing. I've heard this ring word thrown about a lot concerning this guy, so I figure he must have something to do with the child rearing stuff, and he apparently made a movie out of it or something like that, and then it came to America, it got remade. So our producer Bobby, he set up a clip for us. So I guess this is the scene from the heartwarming children's movie The Ring. Oh, kid in bed with his mom. No, it wasn't funny, Bobby, and it's unprofessional too. It's someday I'm gonna really make this phone call to you. Yeah, we all know The Ring. Here's one of those books from the series, Basude. It's Did you know that there was a book that The Ring was based off of, and that there was more than one book in the series? This is I think this is the last one or the second to last one. I don't want to spoil too much, but the supernatural elements in this play a different role than you would expect. Not as major a one, I would say. Basically, it's a mystery. It's based around the so-called new religions of Japan that came about after the war, and basically most of them are kind of cult-like. And he actually wrote this book, I believe, before the sarin gas attacks, but he couldn't release it at the time because the attacks happened before it was published, and so they had to delay for a long time. But I think it would have been really relevant, and they should have published it back then. It's kind of disappointing that they didn't. But this was literally a gripping story. I lost sleep over it because I wanted to find out what was going to happen next. And the climax is kind of surprising, but he kind of feeds you things, so you're not too surprised when it comes. But the resolution, that was the surprising part. So yeah, I do recommend it. The style, it's very like they tell you not to do what he does, or at least what the translator does, which is like he tells you all the details about what people are thinking, what their motivation is, and everything. There's the whole thing about show not tell, but he breaks that rule. But I think it's still a good book. Not the deepest style I've ever read, but that could be the fault of the translator, I don't know. Let's move on to Yokai Attack, because some jerk made this video too long by inserting footage of something. Oh, that was me. So this is the cover for Yokai Attack. I've taken it off too, because I don't really like it, to be honest. I mean, the skull is cool, and the The claw marks are cool, but the camo is kind of meh. But the cool thing about the camo, and you know, it's just my opinion that camouflage doesn't look good on a cover, but if you get really close and you don't have a freaking reflection on your screen, you can see little yokai dancing around in it. Anyways, it's supposed to be like a survival guide for yokai. Most survival guides are like red, aren't they? Why not red? Why the camo? But it's really cool. Like, I'll show you, kind of get the Tengu entry on there. So each page has information on the name and the gender and all the, you know, the little details. And then it will have like highlights of sections on how to survive, what you're supposed to do. Ooh, there's a cool, that's from the original scroll that was telling the story of the giant skeleton. That is the same skeleton from the cover. And ooh, there's an old woman eating dead flesh. Gotta love that. So it's pretty cool. Here's a picture. They found a model or something of the umbrella ghost. I don't know if we should say ghost, but anyways, it's full of cool information, both the old history, which I like, and the newer, like the pop culture, which you know, and I would say, yeah, this is a really cool style to do the book in. They even have some modern monsters like Kuchisake Ora, which is cool. Now, as for the drawings, or illustrations, I should say, Tatsuya Moriano, am I saying that right? Morino, sorry. I have to look at the cover. I'm so professional. Anyways, the cool thing about him, he was an assistant of Shigeru Mizuki, which is the guy that made Ge 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 no Kintaro, which is not a porno manga like I assumed. No, actually, I knew that Ge 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 no Kintaro is like the coolest, you know, manga yokai thing. It's really old. Yeah, it's part of Japan's culture at this point, really. And so the fact that this guy was his disciple, he wasn't, when he was a little kid, he went to this guy's house and he was like, yo, I want to work with you. And like, he turned him away then, of course, but like later he actually became, you know, an assistant to this one of the founding fathers of mangadom, and it's cool. I honestly haven't seen that many of the original Ge 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 Kintaro comics. I found some illustrations that we can put up at the end of the video. I'm not so sure how well he is recreating or homaging, if that can be a verb, the original style. My only problem with the illustrations really is the colors were sometimes really, really garish. Like, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. So basically all my complaints are just graphic design related. The camo looks cool that way. You should have done it like that on the cover or something. That's just my opinion. So, and I'm sure like a lot of people disagree with it. So it's pretty cool. Husband and wife couple wrote the book. So they also wrote, what was that called? Hello Please, which is full of cute characters as I understand it. So yeah, they're up on their stuff on the pop culture and everything, and I think it's really cool that they put a book out. And let's see, I'm gonna put on the YouTube page, I'm gonna put some links to the right side of the video, as usual, in the description box, to a review to Shigeru Mizuki's one of his books. Somebody reviewed his book, and I think you would also, if you are interested in this, you would also like that one. And I'll put up a link to something else, the name of which I can't remember at this time, or even the description, but I know there's one more link, and I'm a professional book reviewer. Thank you. Gay, 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 no gay, minna de utau, gay. I'm messing up the words I don't have access to the internet, so I can't download the song. Downloading songs is copyright theft though, so let's just look at the pictures. These are cool, huh? I want to go to the street. If anybody knows where this street is, where his sculptures or the sculptures based on his drawings are, let us know in the comments, because, man, I think a lot of people would like to go pay a pilgrimage to this guy's work. All right, see you later.